Hello everyone, I am a psychology student here to make psychology easy and interesting for you. If you enjoy my videos, don't forget to like and subscribe my channel and hit the bell so you don't miss out anything. And if you face any difficulty, write in the comment box. I will try to solve it. So let us today study Ainsworth strength situation test. मतलब ये बेसिकली एक एक्सपेरिमेंट है विच वॉज कंडक्टेड बाई मैरी एंसवर्थ and the experiment was conducted on 100 babies around age 12 to 18 months to see the parental relationship or the attachment style. So first of all, let us study how the experiment was conducted, the steps. So first the first step was entering to the unfamiliar environment. At first क्या हुआ था, the parents and the babies were taken to an unfamiliar environment, basically a room which was arranged for the experiment. And there were various toys to engage the baby there, and the experimenter then departs after introducing the parents and the baby to the room. The second point is observation of parent-child interaction. So the parent remains seated in the room while the baby was allowed to explore the new environment because there were toys kept in that room. And the experimenter used to observe how the babies and the parent interact in the strange situation. And so the third point is introduction of the stranger. A stranger first enters the room and shows a passive behavior to the baby, like gradually they are talking to the baby's parents or the primary caregiver. This step aims to observe the baby's response to the presence of an unknown person while the caregiver was still present in that room. The fourth point is temporary separation from the primary caregiver. अब इस पॉइंट पे मतलब द पेरेंट्स एग्जिट द रूम, मतलब leaving the stranger and the baby is clearly like alone, and the stranger monitors the baby's reaction, and if the babies feel distressed or uncomfortable, like the babies because they are separated from their parents, then the strangers wanted to give comfort but tries to give comfort to the baby. So the fifth point is return of parent and departure of stranger. So here the parent re-enters the room again, establishing a physical comfort to the baby, because पहले तो the baby was crying, but now after returning of the parents, the experimenter want to see how the baby reacts to them, if they goes to them or they still cries and other etc. So sixth point is complete isolation of the baby. Here the baby is completely isolated, means there were no parents, there were no strangers. The parent departs again, leaving the baby entirely alone to that unfamiliar setting. मतलब this phase was designed to evaluate the baby's ability to manage complete isolation. मतलब how baby react to that complete isolation, if he fears, if he not, if he's like, if he give importance to what's happening around him, or he still plays with the toys present there. मतलब सब देखते हैं इस फेज में क्या करते हैं बेबी. So the seventh point is return of the stranger. The stranger re-enters the room, like the baby's behavior and emotional response is seen here when the stranger returns with an unfamiliar individual, and final return of the parent. And this is the last phase, and the parent returns offering the comfort to the infant and encouraging them to play with the toys present there. And if the baby was discomfort earlier when the parent was not present there, or show sign of distance or was crying loudly, anything, so here the parents return fully, and then like they just gives a chance to recovery from the baby, to recovery from the distress, and to re-establish an attachment with the caregiver. So after conducting the experiment, Mary Ainsworth said that there are 4 types of attachment style. So the first one is secure attachment style. Secure attachment babies use the caregiver as a secure base to explore the environment. मतलब when the caregivers was present in the room, they used to explore, they used to play with the toys, they used to roam here and there in that room. And when the caregiver departs, secure attachment style babies protest or cry. and when the caregiver returns, these infants re-establish positive interaction with the caregiver. मतलब like गोदी में उठ जाना and all that. They were in distress when the caregiver left, and they feel comfort after the return of the caregiver. So an adult who is having a secure attachment style is able to trust others and gain trust from others too, and they can easily become close to others. And yeah, the second point is, or the second style of attachment is avoidant attachment style. The avoidant attachment style babies engage in little interaction with the caregiver, and when the caregiver leaves, they show no sign of distress, and when the caregiver returns, they also do not establish contact with them and may even turn their back on her return. Like और ये जो avoidant attachment style के बच्चे हैं ना, ये ज़्यादातर they try to avoid their parents a lot because मतलब like that they might have an abusive or neglected caregivers. For that they become like this. And an adult who have an avoidant attachment style may fear of intimacy, like they do not want to go to an intimate relationship, or matlab they do not believe, because they do not believe that their need can be fulfilled in that relationship, so they try to avoid any sort of relationship and all that. The third point is ambivalent attachment style. Babies with ambivalent attachment style need to stay close to their caregiver when they are with them. But when the caregiver leaves, they may cry out loudly, and when they return, they may push her away or hit her. Like these babies, clings to their parents when they are with them, and when their parents leave, they cry out loudly, and in their return, they just do not give importance to their parent or even hit them or push them. Like it happens because of like poor parental style or inconsistent parenting. Like sometimes their needs are met, sometimes the baby's needs are meets, and sometimes not. So this type of circumstances lead to ambivalent attachment style. The last one is insecure attachment. These babies show the maximum insecurity in the case of insecure attachment style. They show behavior of both avoidant and ambivalent style. When the parent returns, the baby show behavior like they may first run up to the parent, but then they may resist to being picked up or even run away from them. When the parents hold the child might look away or show sign of distress. Like it shows a lack of clear attachment style babies, and the babies are nearly confused about what to do. So adults with insecure attachment style both desperately crave for affection and avoid it at all cost. They wanted to have a romantic relationship at one time and avoid it at another time. They are confused about their decision making process, and sometimes because sometimes they need to feel loved and by others, and sometimes they just neglect others.